Every year, there's going to be players that you look back on the draft and you say, I should have drafted this guy. Here are 7 of the ones that I think could be those type of players. Some of them are guys that we've told you about, and others are ones that we might have maybe been a little bit wrong of, but we'll get to those ones in a little bit. But I'm super happy that hockey is back. There's so much going on in the league right now. It's been a super busy week for all of us here at FP. We're going to have our regular scheduled in-season content coming for you guys soon. We want to leave a little bit of a buffer because it is just week 1, and it was a short week on top of that. We'll have our weekly previews out going into week 2. So don't worry about that. We have you guys this year along with a bunch of other content that will help you win your fantasy hockey leagues. But let's get into the video, guys. We're going to start off with Trevor Zegras, somebody that I've been pretty adamant about as a player and just in general, like, you knew that there was going to be a slim chance that he was going to sit out some games. But in my opinion, and I said this in my high risk, high reward video, he is worth the gamble. He is 100% the Ducks centerpiece, and everything kind of drives through this guy throughout the regular season. I know he hasn't put together a year yet where you look and you're like, wow, this guy is worth drafting. I don't think that this guy is plateauing at 60 points. He's way too talented. He's been above a point a game at literally every level that he's played. He's got that line 1 power play 1 upside with Troy Terry as his line mate. So you know that he's playing with good talented players around him. You add in guys like Leo Carlson coming in potentially this year. And I just think the Ducks as a whole are going to get more opportunity for Zegras going forward. I legitimately think he has point per game upside. He should be around the 70 plus point mark this year. He's going to get those line 1 minutes. He's, like I said, the centerpiece in Anaheim. And I think you absolutely should have drafted this guy, especially at the discount you probably got him at because of the contract negotiations that happened earlier on in the season. If you drafted this guy, you probably got him late and you're probably thanking yourself that you did. I'm now going to pivot to a player that I think maybe we weren't as, I don't want to say high on, but I don't think we were rating him properly. And that's Linus Ullmark of the Boston Bruins. We went under the impression that Boston is going to take a step back this year. We were hesitant on a lot of Boston players, especially given the fact that they lose Bouchard and Krejci, their top 6 centermen, which is a huge bump. But if you think about it, like outside of that, nothing else really changed with Boston. And if they still end up being a good team, you're going to want to wish you drafted Linus Ullmark. He's going to remain the starter for as long as he keeps that spot and earns that spot. Even if he doesn't, he'll still continue to split games with Jeremy Swayman. Let me know in the comments down below how much this guy fell in your guys' drafts, because people were just so off of Boston. But if they end up being a solid team again this year, you're going to want to wish that you drafted this guy. He, regardless of how Boston does in the win column, should still have a solid save percentage and goals against average going forward. I don't think they're going to be night and day difference. They might take a step back, like I said earlier on when I was talking about other Boston players, in terms of overall performance. But with Ullmark, I think he's very solid. You could even say the same thing for Jeremy Swayman if you think that that guy's going to take over the net. But I think for right now, Ullmark is the starter in Boston given last year's performance, and he should continue to see that role going forward unless he loses out on some play and Swayman does take over as the number 1. But I still think it's going to be a very close 50-50 split. Ivan Barbashev is a big one and is probably somebody that you can find on your waiver wire depending on your league. He's only 56% owned right now. He's currently line 1 with Jack Eichel and Jonathan Marchessault, and he's getting power play 2 time, which doesn't really concern me. Like, you look and it's like, oh, he's on the second power play unit, you know, but Vegas likes to split up their power plays. So I'm totally fine with him seeing power play 2 time. They just like to roll both their power plays. They've done it in the past. They'll continue to do it this year. And the playoff numbers seem to be real. I know just 1 game is played so far, but Barbashev looked really good on that top line with Eichel. He's great in terms of category coverage as well, too. Gets you a good amount of shots. Really good in the hit department. If he's playing these line 1 and power play minutes, you're going to see his production increase. And he should see around 18 minutes time on ice going forward if he's getting that line 1 role along with some power play time, too. This is a really good deep option that we were on, especially in a lot of our videos, sleeper videos, late round pick videos. Like, he is going to be a guy that you wish you drafted this year. This is a very interesting one. Patrik Laine, 83% owned. Who knew that the best centerman in Columbus was really one of their top wingers? I was absolutely shocked to see his numbers in preseason as the #1 center in Columbus. In 5 games, he had 4 goals, 8 points, and 28 shot attempts. Now, I get this is just preseason, but we know that Laine does have a high goal, high shot upside. The main issue that's happened with him over the past couple of seasons is he's just not been able to stay healthy. Regardless of whether or not he sticks at wing or at center, it's just something we can't control. I still like the upside either way. He's going to play with Gaudreau either way. He's going to be on that first line, first power play. He's going to get a lot of looks. The main issue is just his health. Fingers crossed he can stay healthy, and if he does, you're going to really wish that you drafted this guy this season. Seth Jarvis is somebody that I was on, that Mike and I were on the year before as well too. He's getting that line 1 and power play 1 deployment. We've also seen a pretty big increase in hit volume as well too. In the 2 preseason games that he played, he had 7 hits between the 2 games, and then in his first game played this season, he ended up getting 7 hits on his own. So I don't know what that means for Jarvis going forward. If that's something that he's added to his game, that's an even better element. We just liked him a lot because he was playing with Aho, playing top line, playing power play 1, and he was just one of the most unlucky players last season. He had the lowest shooting percentage out of every player that had over 180 shots last year, and he's now playing close to 22 minutes a night. I don't think that's going to continue. I think Mike was saying that it was just kind of an anomaly where there was a lot of penalties. If he sees around 20 minutes a night, this is great news for Seth Jarvis owners, and he should be readily available to most of you on your waiver wire. I'm really excited to see the big breakout from Seth Jarvis this season. Evan Bouchard, I talked about him continuously throughout our videos. If you guys watched, he is got elite upside this year. He played 24 minutes in game 1. Big blowout by Vancouver there. I ended up watching that game, so I got to kind of see some deployment. 0 competition for power play 1. This is a guy that you could have drafted as your defenseman #1, and I think that he's shown, based off of what we saw in the playoffs and based off of the fact that, like I said, there's 0 competition for power play 1, he has elite production in him, especially on the Oilers when you've got guys like McDavid, Draisaitl surrounding you. He's got good peripherals to go along with the fact that he should have a huge jump in production going forward. I would not be surprised if we saw this guy anywhere around the 70-point mark. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw Bouchard around the 70-point range this year. I think he legitimately has more potential to hit higher point totals depending on how good Edmonton's power play is. And if we're going based off of how they were last season, you're really going to wish you got to this guy in your draft. Finally, guys, Filip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators. This guy is a slam dunk this season already. The goal shot hit combo is why we liked him. We saw the year before where he had a crazy high goal total where he had 42 goals, 42 assists in just under 70 games. I'm not sure if he's going to get to those numbers this year, just given the talent surrounding him in Nashville. But like I said, we love the goal shot hit combo. He's line 1, power play 1. He's the main offensive threat on Nashville and has started off the year on a shooting tear. 24 shot attempts, over 20 minutes average time on ice in the first 2 games played in Nashville. I know it's still early, guys, but these are good signs for Forsberg. 24 shot attempts is insane. That means he's shooting the puck at least 12 times during the game. So I'm very, very excited for Forsberg this year. Big steal this year if you got him in drafts. And if he's available on your waiver wire, I highly recommend picking him up, especially if you count hits in your guys' leagues. He's 70% owned. I know he's only left wing eligible right now, but he is worth a roster spot on your team if you can get your hands on him. That is going to do for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we have a ton more in-season content for you guys coming as well. Let me know in the comments down below who is somebody that you wish that you got to in your draft that you didn't. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like I said, leave a like if you did, and I will see you in the next video. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of the day.